I'm trying to make this year the best year yet. Growing myself, so in my day-to-day habits, my routines. We're gonna get into the quarter one goals. Already struggling a little bit with getting a schedule in order, but breaking the quarter one goals down into monthly goals. So I'm gonna share my January goals with you. We're starting slow and small and strong. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another part of the New Year's series. We're like just getting into the new year now. We're like just over a week into January, and this is the third video in my New Year. Actually, this is the fourth video and final video in my New Year's kind of like prep series. I'm gonna continue this type of video throughout the year, of course, but this is the last one. Oh my word, I just realized. That's crazy. Wow, okay. But hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jill. I'm 24. I live in South Florida. I work full-time in hospitality and I make lifestyle content. We talk all about personal finance, life in my 20s, hobbies, books, goals, of course, and what I'm doing to get there. I just take you through my life with me. So definitely subscribe if you're new. It helps out my channel a lot. If you're not subscribed already, it's free. Please. My goal is 10K this year, so if you can help me get there. Anyway, so this video, I'm going to be sharing all about my quarter one goals and January resets. I have a coffee here, of course. I've already started on it. It's my first coffee of the day, so I'm definitely going to be like chugging this throughout the video. That's good. So just to give you an idea of what this video is gonna look like and how it's structured, so I set New Year's goals for the year, of course, as one does. However, I noticed last year I absolutely did not get anywhere near my goals, and this year I'm trying to change that, and I'm trying to make this year the best year yet. 2026 has already been, it's actually been really good. I was gonna say it's tested me, but not really. I've just been a bit tired because I've been working a lot, and I've just been kind of like trying to find my groove and a schedule to work and accomplish my YouTube goals and accomplish my life goals. And I'm already struggling a little bit with getting a schedule in order, but that's why I'm filming videos like this and setting up my life like this, actually, like to have more structure, more consistency in my day-to-day instead of relying like on how I feel or just like relying on the vibes. I'm kind of trying to rely more on a plan and a structure, which is something that I've always struggled with a little bit, but I'm trying to get there. I do love a plan. Trust, I plan all the time. Finding the plan is the struggle, and that's what we're trying to get to. That's what we're gonna talk about today. So I made my New Year's goals for the year, of course. Those are those like big goals that I set out to achieve, but in order to get there, I need to have a plan and some kind of structure. To get there, I have to break those goals down, and that is what we are doing today. So I did set my New Year's goals, and I did break them down into quarterly goals, and then I'm breaking the quarterly goals down into monthly goals, and then my monthly goals, I'm kind of incorporating like weekly to-do lists to try to get there. So that is my structure, my plan. It sounds like a lot of planning, and it is. And here's the thing, it's not gonna 100% go to plan because that's not how life works. However, we're gonna get it. We're going to try to get as close to said plan as possible. So that is what we're gonna try to do today. I'm gonna share all about the goals here. That's why this like blank empty space is here. You can see my kitchen back there. I did try to get the ambiance going on this side though, because this is gonna be covered. So my overall theme and focus of the year is growth, self-discipline. Growing in all areas of my life, in my work, with YouTube, and also my full-time job. Growing myself, so in my day-to-day habits, my routines, my health, my wellness, and then self-discipline, because I am never self-disciplined. And in order to get to where I want to go, I have to be self-disciplined. That is a common theme throughout my channel that I'm trying to incorporate. So I have some big goals this year, such as buying a house. That is probably my biggest goal of this year. I want that done. I also though have smaller goals, like my day-to-day goals, like developing a morning and night routine that's consistent and that feels good and that sets me up for my days to then achieve these goals. And that feels good. I want to travel a bit more and just like enjoy my personal time. I work a lot and I don't often leave this bubble of where we live. That never used to be the case either. I used to travel all the time and go out and about and do things all the time, but I think after our like debt payoff journey that we were on, that's a whole playlist on my channel. If you're new here, we've been trying to pay off debt for the last couple of years and really got into it this past year. We are now out of debt, but I think it made me a bit nervous to go out and do things and spend money because I almost like forgot how to plan and forgot how to budget for things and forgot how to do things. So we're trying to get back into all that this year. I think success at the end of the year is me having grown as an individual. Like, you're not gonna always accomplish every goal you set out to do. That's just not realistic because life is ever changing. But overall, that is what I want the end of my year to look like. And when I look back, to be like satisfied with how it went. Okay, so now that you know where we're headed this year, we're gonna get into the quarter one goals. So if you haven't seen my yearly goals, you probably should watch that. It is a longer video, but to kind of give you an idea of like what I was working towards. I'll kind of explain it a little bit in the quarter one goals. This video is probably not gonna be as long as that video. That was a long video. It was like 45 minutes of me like just getting into the nitty gritty. That video is to break those big goals down. Quarter one is really important to me because I think it's gonna set the tone for the entire year. So if I successfully can get through quarter one, I think it'll help me build momentum and like get into that self-discipline and just like start working on that. We're starting small. I'm not starting huge. We're starting small, but we're starting off strong. Small and strong. I think this strategy and just like breaking my big goals down into quarterly goals really will help me get to those bigger goals, because when you break that down, it's just easier to achieve. You can actually work towards it, and it's not just this like big goal so far away. Like if I'm breaking it into smaller goals, it can help me track. I can actually see the progress over time. Smaller promises we keep to ourselves helps us build confidence and momentum. Okay, my quarter one goals, let's just get right into it. I did keep the same categories as my yearly goals because I'm just breaking everything down. Personal goals, I want to read 12 books, so that's 4 books per month. So read 12 books. Morning and evening routines, I've really broken down. I want to stick to those. The weekends, a little different, but the weekdays, I definitely need to keep up a routine just to feel my best in my day-to-day. The morning, my skincare, journaling, coffee, of course, and I said like crossword or an activity. I did really good week one with this. I didn't do it every single day, but I think I did it 3 out of the 5 days a week. So we're building that momentum, you know, we're building. Evening routine, kitchen tidy, shower, skincare, read in bed. I did this almost every night. This, for some reason, the evening is easier than the morning. I think the morning, I feel like so energized, so I'm like all over the place. In the evening, I'm really like winding down. So I think my brain is just like more tired and it kind of slows down a bit. And then 2 times per week, yoga and stretching. So like, that's kind of like the same thing in my head. I did stretch once this past week. So we're going to work into doing it twice. My wellness, 10K steps per day. This is my weekdays. I've decided my feet are in shambles. Okay, I wear heels for work and my feet are just absolutely destroyed. Last week I got, what was my highest step day? 18,000 steps. And the other days were like 10,000, 14,000, 15,000. Like it was insane. So I think that's good. I think I did well for the first week of the year. Work out 2 times per week. That's my goal. I might switch it to 1, honestly. 1 to 2. I'm gonna actually switch it. 1 to 2. 1 to 2 times per week. I just need to start building the momentum. We're starting slow and small and strong. Gonna get us there, I promise. Weekly meal prep. You're gonna see this on like every goal list. Financial. Save $10,000 for the house. $10,000 for the house. That is the goal. The house we're really working on. So Q1 in the next 3 months, I wanna save $10,000 for the house. Do you think we're gonna get there? Save $1,000 for the emergency fund. I hope more. We're just gonna shoot for 1,000. Budget every month. That's in my yearly goals, to just like budget consistently every month. And then I want to have 3 no spend weeks. So that's 1 no spend week per month. For travel, I want to have our Key West trip. This probably won't happen until like February or March time. I think January is going to be the planning for it. And when things slow down just a little bit, January is a very busy month. It's my birthday. Work's really busy right now and we're moving. So there's a lot of moving parts in January. So I would say probably March, I'm gonna assume. For my body care, I want to make my eye doctor's appointment and get new contacts and glasses. That's the first thing we're gonna do this year for body care and focusing on me and taking care of myself. That is what we're doing this quarter. We are gonna get new glasses and contacts. And then I need to make another dentist appointment. And then lastly, for my others goals, I wanna try 3 new activities. I think I know what they are already, but I'm not gonna say them because I'm gonna share in some vlogs. So I think that'll be really fun. I'm excited. So those are my quarter one goals. Honestly, my goals are probably gonna sound like redundant and they're gonna sound so consistent and the same, and that's the goal. That is the goal. Those big goals need to be broken down into smaller goals. That's the point, is because I'm trying to work so slowly to get to those big goals. So in my vlogs, I will share the process by just living my life and sharing my life naturally in my vlogs. So moving into the next phase of this is breaking the quarter one goals down into monthly goals. So I'm gonna share my January goals with you. I am entering week 2. So I haven't planned week 2 yet. I'm gonna work on that probably after I film this video. But again, I broke those quarterly goals down into smaller. The monthly goals are to make my goals feel where I can actually take action on them and they're not just these like big things. So I added some things to my January goals that I'm really excited about. So we're just gonna get into it. Again, we're following the same pattern. This is the thing. I want to follow a consistent routine personal goals. I want to throw myself a birthday party and I'm in the process of doing it. I'm so excited to share. My birthday's in a few days from when I'm filming this video. My birthday's January 17th. I've had one birthday party when I was a year old and I've never had one since. I did not grow up celebrating birthdays after that first year of my life. I will get into it in another video down the line, and I've touched on it in vlogs. I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. So this feels like a very big thing in my life and I put it down on my goals list. Throw myself a birthday party. I've never done this before and I'm gonna be a 25-year-old woman. I have never thrown or had a birthday party other than when I was 1, and obviously I don't remember that. I want to have a fantastic birthday morning. So my birthday is a day I'm working, and I'm really emphasizing this because my birthday is always so difficult for me. I always ruin my birthday for myself because of my own anxieties from my past traumas that I deal with, and I'm really trying to grow as an individual, and this is an area of my life that I struggle with and I'm trying to get better at. And again, I'll get into it more in another video. I want to talk about all about growing up in the religion I grew up in and just how it affected me, how I grew up and how it affected me as an adult. But I want to have a fantastic birthday morning because I'm working the night. I'm working the entire day. So maybe that's good because I always seem to ruin my birthdays. But every time I like try to celebrate it, I always ruin it somehow. And I always just like struggle with it. I want to have a fantastic birthday morning. I want to go out for a coffee. I want to get bagels. I want to go to a bookstore. I want to get myself flowers. I want to make it special. I don't want to cry unless it's tears of joy. Breaking down the monthly goals, read 4 books. You notice how in my quarter goals, I said read 12 books. In January, I want to read 4 books. And then continuing the morning and night routine that I shared. And then I want to stretch / do yoga. I don't know what to call it. Both 1 to 2 times per week. I did it once this past week, the first week of the new year. Definitely gonna do 1 this upcoming week. I would love to push for 2 if I can. Getting back to it, wellness goals, 10K steps per day. Workouts, because my overall goal for the year is to develop a workout routine. 1 to 2 workouts per week. It just really is dependent on how week goes and how I'm feeling. Again, weekly meal plan and prep. Financial goals. Okay, we're breaking these down. In January, I want to save $3,000. I don't know if we're gonna get there already. I'm gonna be full transparent. Actually, we might, or we might get very close. Save $300 for an emergency fund. Budget for the month. And then I want to have 1 no spend week for the month. So that's going to be most likely at the end of the month because it's been a very busy month. Birthday and moving and all the things. Travel. I want to plan my mom's travel dates to fly down here. I want to plan that and probably get that booked this month. I want to select our travel dates for the Key West trip. See, so in my quarter 1 goals, I said I want to go to Key West, travel to Key West at some point in the next 3 months. Now in the January goals, we're breaking them down and I'm saying I want to plan the dates for that. So select the dates. The next will be book the tickets. This is how we're going to get to where we want to go. Okay, I have to like spell it out for myself. I have to break it down for myself. For beauty goals, I need to buy a bronzer. I want to buy a bronzer and learn how to use it. I've never used bronzer and I want to learn how to use it. This is going to contribute to my overall goal of like nailing a makeup routine this year. Like I'm going to get there and it's going to start by these tiny baby steps. This month, the eye doctor's appointment is happening. I am booking it and I am going to it this month. And then for other, I want to try a new activity. I think I know what it is already and I'm so excited for it. I'll share in a vlog when we do it. It's going to be so random and fun, so I can't wait. I'm really trying to avoid just feeling burnt out and tired by breaking down all the things in my life and having systems set up to achieve things. I can't have anything too broad. I really need to make it small and easy and like a to-do list to check off because for me, that's the best way that I can plan. We're actually gonna move into the topic of talking about how I plan. For me, breaking it down on a piece of paper into sections is so helpful because that's how I just get it done. I give myself 1 week to do said tasks. I will get it done. Even if it's on that last day, it will get done. That's just the best way for me to plan and to stay consistent. I do use Notion. If you are new here, I use Notion to plan all of my goals, my habits, how I track everything, how I make all these lists. I love a blank piece of paper. I love a checkbox to-do list. That is the best way for me to accomplish things in my life. I'm definitely having like weekly check-ins with myself by planning my week. When I break my monthly goals down into weekly goals, I'm kind of having like a check-in with myself and being like, okay, what worked? What didn't work? What can I implement this next week to adjust, change, make it so I can actually accomplish things and get to where I want to go? Falling behind is natural and also it's gonna happen because that's how life goes. Like you're not gonna be perfect all the time. I think just being able to adjust and be comfortable with like switching things up and changing as you go, that is what I'm gonna do, and just like being honest and transparent with myself. I think accountability is very important. I have to hold myself accountable. I have to look at myself and be constructive constructive and say, you kind of fell short there, and why is that? And like kind of, and have those conversations with myself and hold myself accountable and be self-aware. And the last thing I kind of want to talk about in this video, I don't want this video to be too long. I kind of want it to be a shorter, just like, here's what I'm doing kind of video, and that be that, because I yap a lot. I love to yap. My mindset and my intentions for this year. This year is different for me because I think I laid the foundation in 2025 and I kind of just like went off vibes for the year. And this year I really looked at myself at the end of the year and I was like, all right, what is not working for me in my life anymore? Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? And what can I do to change it? And this is what has come from that. Like, this is what has come from me having that conversation with myself and sitting down and saying, okay, what didn't work last year? Why didn't it work last year? What can I do moving into this year? And really it is just about like personal growth and creating the life I want to create. And it's not about like checking all these big things off or saying I did this, I did that. It really is about growing as a person and just feeling comfortable and confident in my day-to-day and feeling proud of myself and creating a life I want, because there are certain things in my life that I just never have had or I have to work towards, and that's just reality. I have to work for certain things in my life. I don't just have those things. I have to have these conversations with myself, and I have to go into the year with a specific mindset and stick to what I'm trying to do, and that's that self-discipline, personal growth. A reminder to all of you that Tyron always tells me, especially with our money goals and like the debt payoff, he always has said, and it's helped me a lot, progress over perfection. Progress. Small things, small changes, small wins, progress over perfection to get to where you want to go. That is how we are going to get there, okay? And it's so ironic. I always struggle with this because as someone who does not perfect things and who has typically lived just off the vibes. I keep saying that, but it's the truth. I also am always upset when things don't go the way I want them to go, but I never set myself up to achieve the thing. So it's like, how am I gonna get there if I don't set myself up for it, you know, and like actively work towards it? So that is where I'm gonna end this video. Keeping it short and sweet, and I want to hear some reflections from you guys. How do you plan your goals? Do you break them down into quarter goals or monthly goals like I'm doing? Do you just have big goals and that's how it works for you? I would love to hear how you're doing this upcoming year. I know not everybody's big on the New Year's goals or resolutions. I think any day you decide to reinvent or change is so important, because it doesn't have to be right when the New Year starts. It can be whenever you want it to be. Okay, my camera's about to die. So I'm gonna end this video and say I love you all. Thank you for watching. I can't wait to yap in the next video. This was the end of the New Year's video, so I'm excited to see where the new year takes us. Definitely comment some of your goals down below. I can't wait to chat in the comments. Have a great rest of your day whenever you're watching this. See you all in the next vlog. Bye.